Hello everyone, my name is Long and I'm also an FA student. Today I make this video to answer some questions about the topic Salt Lake and the contents today of today there are four contents. There are four main contents, and the first one is general introduction to Salt Lake and related history. The second one is some questions about turtles in Vietnamese culture and Salt Lake turtle. The third one is some questions about Lý Thái Tổ, and the fourth one are some questions about Ngọc Sơn complex. So let's go into the first topic today, general introduction to Salt Lake and related history. The first question is, why did the lake get the name Salt Lake? And tell the Salt Lake legend. Okay, Salt Lake means Lake of the Returned Sword. This name is related to the famous historical legend of King Lê Thái Tổ. In the 15th century, it was named Hoàn Kiếm Lake, and after the legend of Emperor Lê Thái Tổ, which is somehow similar to the story of King Arthur and the Lady of the Lake. This legend is really interesting. Like just close your eyes and turn back time to the Lê Dynasty 6 centuries ago to witness the legendary story. During the war against the Ming aggressors, King Lê Thái Tổ was given a precious fairy sword by the Golden Turtle God, and after 10 years of continuous struggling, the king finally defeated the Chinese and reclaimed the nation's independence again. After that, on a nice day while boating on the Lake Lục Thủy, a large turtle came towards him, and it immediately grabbed the sword with its mouth and submerged. The king mourned the loss of such a valuable sword, yet could not fight either the turtle or the sword. He realized that the god must have lent him the sword to drive back the enemy, but then that his nation was free, the sword must be returned. Hence, King Lê Thái Tổ renamed the lake to Salt Lake after this episode. And the second question is, present the Chinese domination of Vietnam. The first one is like, the total duration of Chinese domination in Vietnam spans approximately like 1003 years across four stages, four periods of history. The first period is from 111 BC to 39 AD, and then from 40 to 43 AD, the Qing sisters regained our independence. And the second period is from 44 to 541 AD, and the third period is from 602 to 905 AD. This time our country was under the colonization of the Sui and Tang dynasties, and the fourth period is from 1407 to 1427 AD by Ming Dynasty. So China dominated Vietnam in total 1003 years in four periods. Okay, the next question. What were the crimes that the Chinese domination authority committed in Vietnam? During the period of Chinese domination in Vietnam, which lasted for over a millennium, several significant impacts and events occurred. During the periods of Chinese domination, Chinese dynasties continuously assimilated the Vietnamese people with the aim of turning Vietnam into a district of China. The Chinese authorities imposed significant Sinicization policies, which included the suppression of local customs and the imposition of Chinese language, culture, customs, and political institutions. This included the enforcement of Chinese clothing and hairstyles, as well as the introduction of Taoist and Confucian teachings. Despite these efforts, the Vietnamese people resisted total assimilation, maintaining their local spoken language and cultural identity. The Vietnamese people also had to pay taxes to the Northern Court. In addition to the taxes, some local officials who ruled the place far away also extorted more from the people. Some other crimes, such as Vietnam's natural resources, such as gold, silver, and pearls, were exploited and sent to China. Vietnamese people were conscripted to work on infrastructure projects like roads, canals, and forests, often under harsh conditions. Tens of thousands of Vietnamese were captured and taken to China as slaves. Vietnamese cultural and religious sites were destroyed or converted to align with Chinese practices. And the next question is present other names of the Lake Lục Thủy and why it got those names and the meaning of each name. Okay, Salt Lake used to have like three names like Lục Thủy Lake, meaning green water lake. This name refers to the lake's distinctive green color caused by algae. And the next name was Thủy Quân Lake, Mariner's Lake. Historically, the lake was used for naval drills and training, hence the name. And the last one was Tả Vọng Lake. This name was used during a period when the lake was divided into two parts, the other being Hữu Vọng Lake. And the changing names reflect the lake's historical significance and the different legends and stories associated with it. We move into the next part. Questions about Toto in Vietnamese culture and Salt Lake Toto. The first question is, what is the significance of Toto in the culture of Vietnam? In Vietnam, the Toto holds a significant place, symbolizing longevity, wisdom, strength, and good fortune. This symbolism is deeply rooted in various legends and historical events. Longevity and wisdom. The four sacred animals. The Toto is one of the four sacred animals in Vietnamese culture, alongside the dragon, phoenix, and unicorn. These animals represent auspicious blessings and are often depicted in art, architecture, and everyday objects. The Totos in Vietnamese culture also present good fortune and prosperity. Like when you see a Toto, it is considered to a sign of good luck, and many people believe that encountering a Toto brings blessings and positive energy. And so overall, the Toto is revered creature in Vietnamese culture, representing a wide range of positive qualities. Its symbolism continues to influence various aspects of Vietnamese life, from art to literature to folklore and everyday beliefs. Now I'll present Salt Lake Totos. First is its characteristics. Controversy still surrounds the Toto species found in Hoàn Kiếm Lake. even though it has been recognized by international organizations as the Riftus turtle. This soft-shell turtle was initially described in 1873, yet research on this magnificent creature remains scarce. The Huankim turtle possesses a soft shell serving as a protective layer skin to its outer skin. Without the presence of a hard outer shell, notably, their front and hind legs bear only 3 claws. And in terms of physical dimensions, these turtles exhibit a body length ranging from 1,700 to 2,000 millimeters, and with a corresponding body weight varying between 120 kilograms and 220 kilograms in individuals that have been hunted. The Salt Lake turtle's head size is larger, and its snout is more protruding compared to other turtles. Additionally, the head is elongated on the neck and features a short, indistinct nose with wide nostrils. Typically, this turtle exhibits a relatively wide skull with blunt upper and lower jaw bones, in contrast to the pointed jaw bones described for other turtles. The lifespan of the turtle in Huankim Lake, estimated to be around 200 years old, remains an enigma. This majestic creature ranks among the world's longest living species, boasting a remarkable length of 2.08 meters, a width of 1.08 meters, and a weight of 169 kilograms. These impressive numbers are truly a testament to its grandeur and longevity. Okay, the next question is there any giant turtle still living in the lake? The question is no, unfortunately. As of now, there is no giant turtle living in the Huankim Lake. The last known individual, believed to be the same turtle from the legend, passed away in 2016. While the legend and symbolism of the turtle remain, the physical presence of the creature is no longer here. But there are still many other turtles in the Salt Lake. Red-eared slider turtles, for example. These invasive turtles are believed to be one of many reasons that caused to the death of the gold turtle. How many individuals have been found recently from 1960s to the present day? Oh, the answer is there are 4 individuals total that were found in Salt Lake from 1960 until now, and the information of each individual. Sadly, all of them was dead. All of them were dead. One individual died on 2nd July 1967, and its body was kept in Ngọc Temple. One individual's body was kept in Hưng Kỳ Pagoda and is now at Hà Nội Museum. One individual was butchered in 1962 or 1963, I don't remember correctly, when it clawed into Chí Linh Flower Garden. Now Chí Linh Flower Garden is Lý Thái Tổ Monument Flowers Garden. After heavy rain, after a heavy rain in 1962, this individual clawed into the flower garden and it was butchered. And the last Huankim Lake turtle died on 19 January 2016. Since 2003, the Asian Turtle Conservation Program has conducted interview surveys in many areas of 18 provinces in northern Vietnam to search for remaining turtles in rivers, lakes, and wetlands. During the survey, the research team found the shells and skulls of 7 turtles and a photo of another individual that was caught and photographed by a local resident. As of 2020, only 4 individuals of the Hogum turtle, the salt lake turtle, are confirmed to be alive. One male in Suzhou Zoo in China, and 2 individuals in Dong Mo Lake in Vietnam, and in addition to 1 individual in Xuân Khánh Lake that has not been clearly observed. The turtle in Dong Mo is a female and is capable of reproduction, but this turtle died on 20 April 2023. If no males can be found to mate with, the salt lake turtle species will soon become extinct. The next part is present turtle tower. When, where, by who, and why was it built? The island was first used as a fishing site in the 14th in the 100 and in the 14th centuries under Lê Thánh Tông. A tower was built to improve the comfort of the emperor's fishing. In the 17th and 18th centuries, under the revival of Lê Dynasty, the Chick Lords had Tả Vọng Temple built on the islet. In the 18th century, under the Nguyễn Lords, the temple disappeared, and after the French captured Hanoi in 1883, the people living along the lake were scattered. Vietnamese officials also abandoned their posts. As for Nguyễn Hữu Kim, a village official of Tu Tháp, who was appointed as an intermediary between the French army and the Vietnamese, he was also trusted by the new government. So not long after he became a baron, commonly known as Bảo Hộ Kim, and in 1886, the land on the Turtle Hill was found to be in accordance with Feng Shui, but the 3-story tower was still completed. The legend about whether Mr. Kim was a lackey of the French or not, and whether he buried his father's remains in the sacred land in the middle of the capital or not, still does not have much convincing scientific evidence, because there are many different evidences causing contradictions, so it should not be spread incorrectly. Therefore, this tower was originally called Bảo Hộ Kim Tower because of its beautiful location in the middle of the lake. The Turtle Tower naturally became a historical site in Hanoi. Present the architectural features. Oh, this part is difficult. The tower combines European architectural style with 2-story Gothic windows below, but the rest retains the ancient Vietnamese architectural formula. The tower was built on a land area of about 350 meters, a rectangular plan with 4 floors. The lower floor is built wider, then gradually narrows to the upper floors. The east and west sides have 3 rolling doors. The south and the north sides have 2 rolling doors at the top. The 2-story top has a railing that can run around, and the 4 high-grade edifices gradually increase towards the middle of the top. On the top is a 5-pointed star. The fusion of 2 architectural styles, French architecture and indigenous architecture, creates a unique sophistication, especially Turtle Tower. The next question. Provide the information of the Liberty statue once placed on the top of the tower. Though New York City claims the most famous radiant of Lady Liberty in the late 19th century, numerous cities around the globe built or received their own versions of the Statue of Liberty, including Hanoi. Hanoi's Hoan Kiem Lake was once home to a state statue. The print-sized Hanoian edition measured in at like 2.85 meters tall. According to the statue once stood in the Little Park, then the center of French administrative power. However, in 1890, the Statue of Liberty was replaced by another sculpture depicting Paul Bert, the Resident General of Annam and Tolkien, who had died earlier that year. To make room for the new bust, Lady Liberty was placed on top of the iconic Turtle Tower. As one can imagine, the move drew ire from local residents as a religious symbol important to the indigenous population was colored with a political icon of the colonial realms. During this time, even the local press commented that on the even the local press commented on the offensive symbolism of this act. According to multiple sources, the Statue of Liberty was removed and likely destroyed from Turtle Tower in 1945 following Hanoi's independence from French colonial rule. We move into the next part. Questions about Li Taido. Okay, there are some briefly present to the king biography. Li Taido was born in 974 and he was passed away in 128. His real name is Li Gongwen, and he was the founder and first emperor of the Li dynasty. He was one of the most important. No, I'm sorry. The Li dynasties. The Li dynasty was one of the most important dynasties in Vietnamese history. His reign marked the beginning of a prosperous and independent period of Vietnam, characterized by stability, cultural flourishing, and significant administrative reforms. He was born in Cổ Tháp village, Từ Sơn, Bắc Ninh province in 974, and then he was gave up for adoption to a man named Lý Khánh Vân at the age of 3. Công Nguyen was educated by Vạn Hạnh, the most eminent Buddhist of the time, patriarch of the time, in the village of Đình Bản, a short distance across the Red River from Hanoi to the northeast. He acquired a reputation as a devout Buddhist and then a historian student and a soldier. He was gradually promoted from a minor officer to a prominent post of the government and was ultimately bestowed with the title Tả Thân Vệ Điện Tiền Chỉ Huy Sứ, the commander of the police's left flank, which was one of the most important positions within the royal guards. In 1005, the ruling emperor Lê Hoàn died, resulting in a civil war between his sons, and let me see. Okay, in 1005, the ruling emperor Lê Hoàn died, resulting in a civil war between his sons, and finally, Lý Công Uẩn was advised and assisted by his patron, the monk Van Hek, and by the efforts of the entire Buddhist establishment, Lý Công Uẩn was proclaimed emperor by general acclamation. After his ascension to the throne, Lý Công Uẩn named his era Thuận Thiên, meaning accordance with heaven's will. And Lý Công Uẩn also contributed to some parts of Vietnam, like he reformed the administrative system to strengthen centralized rule. In other devout Buddhists, Lý Thái Tổ elevated Buddhism to a central role in Vietnamese society, and he also make military and border security stronger in Vietnam. He developed our economic, and he marked the beginning of a golden age for Vietnamese culture. When and why did he relocate the capital from Hoa Lư to Đại La? Okay, this is a long story. Lý Thái Tổ decided to relocate the capital in 1010 because of some following reasons. Firstly, Hoa Lư, located in a mountainous region, was difficult to defend against potential invasions. Đại La, situated in the Red River Delta, offered better defensive capabilities due to its strategic location and the surrounding waterways. Secondly, the Red River Delta was a fertile region, ideal for agriculture and trade. By moving the capital to Đại La, Lý Thái Tổ aimed to stimulate economic growth and prosperity. Lý Thái Tổ envisioned a prosperous and powerful kingdom. By choosing Đại La as a new capital, he symbolically expressed his aspirations for a strong and enduring dynasty. According to legend, a golden dragon ascended to the sky when Lý Thái Tổ arrived at Đại La, reinforcing the belief that the city was a sacred and good place. After that, the king decided to rename Đại La to Thăng Long. Lý Thái Tổ decision to relocate the capital to Đại La was a strategic move that laid the foundation for the development of a prosperous and powerful kingdom. The choice of location, along with the symbolic significance associated with the city, contributed to its enduring legacy as the heart of Vietnamese civilization. Now I will tell you the meaning of the name Thăng Long, Hà Nội in Vietnam. Okay, Thăng Long meaning rising dragon or soaring dragon. Thăng Long was the name given to modern-day Hanoi by Lý Thái Tổ in 1010 when he moved the capital there from Hoa Lư. According to legend, when Lý Thái Tổ arrived at the site, he saw a golden dragon ascending into the sky, which he thought as a divine sign of prosperity and success for the new capital. And Hanoi, meaning inside the river or surrounded by rivers. The name combines Hà, meaning river, and Nội, meaning inner or inside. The name Hanoi was officially adopted in 1831 during the reign of Emperor Minh Mạng of the Nguyễn Dynasty. It refers to the city's geographical location in a fertile region surrounded by rivers, particularly the Red River, which has historically been vital for agriculture, trade, and transportation. Vietnam became the official national name for the first time during the reign of King Gia Long in 1804. Before that, according to the history of the Lý Trần Lê dynasties, even though the country had the name Đại Việt, China ignored it. They kept calling the country An Nam. Only in the Gia Long dynasty, after establishing the country's name Vietnam, did China abandon the traditional name An Nam and consistently call it Vietnam. and Vietnam is a suitable national name to indicate a unified territory between Đàng Trong and Đàng Ngoài, and interpreted the meaning of this national name as we owned the land of Việt Thuận first, and the An Nam region was added later. The two words Vietnam are a combination of Việt and Nam. When and why the name Thăng Long changed to Hanoi? The name Thăng Long was officially changed to Hanoi in 1831 by King Minh Mạc of the Nguyen dynasty. The change from Thăng Long to Hanoi is a result of the Vietnamese long and complex history. This was a result of historical events, shifts in political power, and geographical and cultural factors. While the name has changed, the historical and cultural significance of Thăng Long is still preserved and celebrated in Hanoi today. So we move to the last part today. Questions about Ngọc Sơn complex. Present the information of Ngọc Sơn Temple, the Hook Bridge, and Penn Tower. Ngọc Sơn Temple, right in the center of the serene lake, is Ngọc Sơn Temple, a prominent temple sitting on a small island. The sacred temple, along with other architectures, create a historical complex that has been the pride of Hanoian for hundreds of years. Ngọc Sơn Temple was erected in the 19th century in commemoration of Trần Hưng Đạo, the greatest military commander of the Trần dynasty. With his military brilliance, Trần Hưng Đạo led the Vietnamese army to several victories over the Yuan dynasty in the 13th century. The temple also pays homage to Văn Xương Đế Quân, the god of prosperity in ancient Chinese culture, and initially the tourist attraction was named Ngọc Sơn Pagoda. However, in Vietnamese culture, pagodas served as the place for Buddhism practices, while temples are dedicated to the worship of historical figures. Therefore, soon after construction, its name was changed into Ngọc Sơn Temple. And it is not an overstatement to call Ngọc Sơn Temple and its surrounding artifacts the architectural phenomenon of Hanoi. Each part of the complex possesses a unique charm and meaning, and when united, they turn into a harmonious architectural structure. The first statue you will see is for many years, Ngọc Sơn Temple have become one of the best attraction in Hanoi. The next one is the Hook Bridge. Tay Hook Bridge. In 1865, during the reign of Tự Đức, the scholar Nguyễn Văn Siêu commissioned a bridge connecting the bank of the river with Ngọc Sơn Temple. He named it Tay Hook, meaning the rising and perching sun. The bridge was undergone full reconstruction twice since it was first built. The first time was in 1897 during the reign of Thành Thái. The second time was initiated in 1952 under Thẩm Hoàng Tín, after the bridge collapsed on New Year's Eve due to an overabundance of visitors to Ngọc Sơn Temple. And the next part is Penn Tower, meaning rising to the blue sky. This name is really interesting, right? The tower was built in 1865 in the form of Chinese writing brush pointed to the sky. The wall of tower was curved with Chinese walls, which means right on the blue sky. What an imaginative and creative idea, right? writing on the sky or writing on the blue sky with a giant pen. Just imagine that. Pen Tower is the highlight of Ngọc Sơn Temple, an ancient temple built in the early 19th century by the Hoàn Kiếm Lake, the city's heart. And the square tower has 5 floors. In the body of the tower, Nguyễn Siêu carved 3 words Tạ Thiên Thanh, meaning writing to the blue sky. Okay, the next part is present the significance of 4 holy creatures in the Vietnamese culture. There are the 4 sacred creatures of Vietnam are dragon, phoenix, turtle, and unicorn. If in Vietnamese culture, they hold immense significance. And okay, the first one is dragon, present for power and prosperity. Among the 4 sacred creatures, dragon holds the most important status in Vietnamese culture. Unlike Western view of dragons as fearsome and destructive creatures, the Vietnamese dragon is seen as a symbol of power, prosperity, and wisdom. The dragon also represents the element water, which is vital to Vietnam's agriculture economy. And historically, dragons were extensively used in imperial architecture, royal seals, and ceremonial objects. They were often depicted with long, snake-like bodies, flames surrounding them, and a pearl in their mouth, symbolizing wealth and knowledge. Even today, dragon motifs are frequently seen in temples, pagodas, and public monuments, reflecting the creature's enduring cultural presence. The phoenix is a symbol of beauty, grace, and virtue in Vietnamese culture, known as the king of all birds. And the next one is the turtle, longevity and stability. And the last one is unicorn. Is a mythical creature, often described as a hybrid between a dragon, horse, with the head of a lion and the scales of a fish, Okay, the last part today, I will compare and contrast between pagoda and temple. In Vietnamese culture, pagodas and temples serve distinct yet complementary roles in spiritual and cultural life. Pagodas are often associated with Buddhism, serving as a place for meditation, prayer, and the pursuit of enlightenment. And temples, on the other side, are dedicated to ancestor worship. Their architecture includes altars for spirits, heroes, and deities, and traditional motifs like dragons and phoenix. Pagodas emphasize inner peace and moral teachings, while temples focus on honoring spirits and seeking blessings for protection and prosperity. Visitors to pagodas offer incense and flowers, while temple rituals often include food and symbolic offerings. Festivals and communal rituals are common in temples, whereas pagodas hold Buddhist ceremonies like Vu Lan, the Ghost Festival. Okay, thank you so much for taking time to listen to me answering some questions about Ngọc Sơn. About Salt Lake. Thank you very much, and please give me some comments so that I can know what I'm not good at, so I can fix that. Thank you. Goodbye.